Huh. Uh-oh. Now I'm a little worried. So, Scruffy's not here. It's dinner time. Oh, there he is. Because he threw up last night. I'm wondering if he's going to hold a grudge. So I actually went out into the garden earlier today, and I saw him hiding in the bushes. As usual, he looked terrified of me. I didn't try to approach, but I needed to clean up some weeds, and there's a tree in the back that looks like part of it's withering. So the leaves are turning brown instead of green, and it's spring now. Hey Scruffy, how you doing? So I wanted to take a closer look at the tree, see if there are any gopher holes or anything. I didn't notice any, so I'm hoping it's just because maybe of the weird weather we've been having. So I watered the tree a little bit, hoping maybe it'll help. Hey Scruffy, so I'm glad you're back. So I have a very, very, very special treat for you. Oh, I left the computer on. So I have human food tonight. Yeah. So because the freezer died, I need to get rid of a lot of food. And so there's a lot of meats in there. And figure, why not share it with you? So you're going to get really unhealthy human food tonight. So I hope you don't throw up again. So I have a little side bowl. I think originally I was going to give him about twice as much of that food, and then I realized that probably kill him. It was a lot more food than I thought, and so he's going to get a feast tonight because it's still a lot of food. But it's a little closer to our normal volumes. Actually, it's more than normal volumes still. So he's not going to get like a single meal. He's going to get a full day's meal tonight. And then I have a side dish in case I want to try the chair again. So not sure yet. We'll play it by ear. I kind of want to continue the chair thing just to get him acclimated to the idea, but there's so much food tonight, and the fact that he threw up, I'm worried if I do the chair thing, he might throw up even more. Okay, so I'm going to bring out the food, okay? Ready? Okay, coming out. Get the water bowl now. You're quiet tonight. So I can't tell if it's because you're normally just a coward, or if it's because you're angry about last night, or something else. You know, not happy with me going out in the garden today. Okay, so I'm gonna grab the glove and sit in the chair. And okay, he seems to be ready for pet. And that was a little meow. Okay. I was hoping he might jump up on the chair, but oh well. So you're going to enjoy tonight's meal a lot, I hope. Because I can't eat all that food by myself. And I don't have the freezer space anymore. So if you didn't see the previous video, my freezer died. So I have or had a dedicated upright freezer. It's actually my parents. So they've had it for a really long time. I checked I looked for the manufacturer date I think it said 2003, so it's like 18 years old now. So the normal lifespan of these things is 15, 20 years, so it's about time. I was very concerned all year that the thing was going to go out just because Murphy's Law and age, because with all the lockdowns and the shortages and the spike in food costs, I wanted to be able to store food in my freezer to weather any more problems. So on the bright side, I think we've made it through probably the worst. It would have been a lot worse if this thing died a year ago. But on the not so bright side, it's not exactly out of the woods yet, and yeah, food costs are still really high. I've been tracking my common items, and a lot of food is 20-30% more than it was before this all started. So particularly meats and beef in particular. Yeah, beef is easily 30% more, if not even higher, depending on how good of a cut you want. And so I was storing a lot of beef, so not happy that the freezer went out. Because so we normally keep meats in the freezer, so I had a lot of the beef actually before the crisis, and then when the crisis hit, I stopped buying the beef because the price spiked. Then there was a brief period where the prices actually came down a little bit, so not back to pre-crisis levels, but they did come back down, and it was kind of like being in the eye of the hurricane. And so I said, this thing is probably going to go on for a while, and I don't expect the beef prices to stay here. I think they're going to go back up. So I bought more beef and chicken and a little bit of fish, stocked the freezer, and then prices did go up again, and then they came back down a little bit, but actually not quite as low as that eye of the hurricane. So now today they've kind of leveled off, but I think they're actually still higher than when I paid in the eye of the hurricane. So if I go to the store and try to replenish my meats, not that I have the storage space anymore, but if I wanted to, it actually costs me more. So that kind of sucks. And then the other really annoying thing is the cost of refrigeration and freezers have spiked up. So the cheapest freezer I could find before the crisis, there was a sale at Costco for $130, $129.99, and it was on sale, so it was like $20 off or something. So normally $150, basically. So now, after the crisis, it's like $300. So that's a 100% increase. So that's bull. That's when they try to, especially when they tell us there's no inflation. That's total bull. So, and the complicate matters because I think I have to move. I don't really want to buy a big appliance. So I'm going to see if I can readapt my life without a freezer, though it's always been kind of a staple in my family. So my family likes to cook, and so we would basically make big batches of food and freeze it, and then thaw it out as in portions as we needed it. And so I try to carry that tradition on, and Yeah, it's really hard without a big freezer. So, but I got to figure out my move, I think, first. And then once I figure out if I'm going to move and where I'm going to move, I'll get a freezer at the new location. Or if I stay here, then I'll get a freezer. Okay, I think you're ready for food, aren't you? Okay, how about I get you your food? So it's special tonight, so I hope you don't throw up. And I know you're a feral cat, so you're used to eating crap, so I'm not too worried about you dying from scraps. So one of the things in the freezer I found were raw patties. I think they're pork. So I think it's probably my dad probably bought some raw pork and pounded them into patties, so he could make sausage patties for breakfast or dinner or whatever he wanted. And they weren't labeled, so I know I always label my food, so I know I didn't put it there. So anyway, yeah, it was one of the things that felt like I should probably get rid of and use up. So instead of trying to use up more freezer space, scarce freezer space I have left in my working refrigerator / freezer, I thought I'd leave these and thaw them out. And so I tried one. So I'm on a diet, so I really shouldn't be eating this stuff. And honestly, pork sausages, they're not sausage patties. They're not my absolute favorite. I like them, but I can pass. So I thought, hey, maybe Scruffy would like it. So I got sausage patties, and then I decided. So after I fried them up, I didn't want to give it. Well, I was thinking I'd give it to him raw, but I first wanted to try one myself. So I decided, okay, I'm gonna cook it up. And so after I cooked it up, and I said, well, we got the raw chicken skin, and the pan's hot, so why don't I fry up the chicken skin? So I fried up a little bit of chicken skin and put it in there and poured all the grease in there, so it'd be really good. And then I put a couple slices of pepperoni in there. So last night I said I was going to make a pizza because that's another thing I needed to get rid of. And so go figure. Oh, I haven't brushed them yet. Sorry, I completely flaked. Okay, I forgot the brush. But I guess, yeah, I was... So yeah, I don't know if I'm going to be able to pet him tonight on the chair. So yeah, I probably needed to start brushing him when he first started eating. I kind of wanted to see him. What's wrong? I always brush you. Yeah, my guess is, yeah, as he gets fuller, he doesn't want to be brushed. Okay, I'm gonna put it down. Go ahead and eat. Special day, you get special food. I'm not gonna ruin it. So yeah, I guess I'm not going to. Well, I'll think about the chair thing. So anyway, yeah, pepperoni. So I mentioned I had a pizza, and yeah, it's too big. I can't put it in my other freezer. So I said, okay, I'm going to eat the pizza, or cook it, and somehow I managed to screw that up. So the pizza burned. I had a timer on, so normally the pizza takes 15-20 minutes to cook. But in about, I think, 8 minutes, the pizza was basically burned. So I don't know what happened. So anyway, the only thing that was kind of salvageable was the pepperoni on top of it, but even that was a little too much. Wow, I don't think he likes the food tonight. He's a picky eater. Don't like the food? I thought he would have loved this stuff. As, as a feral cat, he'd be digging through garbage cans and whatnot. Oh boy, so this did not go well. So we might have to resume the normal programming tomorrow. And I'll throw all this out. So yeah, I put just a couple pieces of pepperoni in there because they were the only thing that was kind of salvageable from the pizza. It's only a couple pieces. Most of it's just sausage and chicken skin. So I figured, one night of a feast of human food wouldn't kill him. I looked it up on the internet, so all this food should be okay for him. Long-term diet, not a good thing for a cat, but one night thing, no problem. Of course, knowing my luck, he'll probably have some allergic reaction. Cripple him. Poor Scruffy. But yeah, I can only imagine what he eats as a feral cat. Digging through trash and whatever. Okay, so I guess we'll go back to your normal cat food tomorrow. So I shredded up all the patties with a fork. Because I know he has a tendency of grabbing giant pieces of food and then running off with it, so I didn't want him running off with the food. He's been really dainty with trying to move that ball. He barely touched the ball. There you go. So maybe he's looking for his kibble. Where's the kibble? So I didn't put any kibble in there because I thought this would be more than enough food for him. And I thought he'd like it more, but I don't know. He doesn't like it. And it's sad too because I actually, there were two patties there, and I only put half the food in there, so there's another patty I put in the refrigerator for tomorrow. But yeah, if he doesn't eat this, I guess I'll just have to throw it away. And actually, there are two more uncooked patties I haven't cooked yet. And then I got more chicken skin. Though I know he loves chicken skin, so that shouldn't be a problem. So I didn't give him the bone tonight because this is so much food. Because he loves the chicken bones too. Raw chicken bones. So anyway, I probably screwed up my diet a little bit. I'm trying to not let all this food go to waste. I should. It actually be healthier for me, probably just let it go to waste. So It was actually pretty good last night, though it actually helped that I burned the pizza, so it was inedible. So that's actually something I never considered, wasting the food by overcooking it. So I heard a crunch there. I think that was probably the chicken skin. So I gave a bunch of the food to my neighbor, or one of my neighbors. I give it to my other neighbors, but I don't think they eat the stuff. Like one of my neighbors, he's always on a diet. He's like borderline diabetic, so I can't really give him anything. And then my other neighbors, they have a whole family, so I was able to give them a bunch of food. And, they're really good neighbors. Actually, they're the ones who gave me the fancy cat food. So yeah, our families, I think moved in the neighborhood at the same year. So my parents were really good friends with them. So they did all sorts of projects together. It's like this deck actually, it's a lot of help from them. So my dad did all the deck work, but yeah, he had a lot of help from them, and then vice versa. They built a lot of stuff over there. So they have this beautiful gazebo that they built, and my dad helped a lot. The gazebo is was crazy difficult. I remember because it was just all the special cuts you have to make to get. It's like perfectly. Is it? I can't remember. Is it 6 sides or 8 sides? Basically, to get the perfect octagon or hexagon, they had to do a lot of fancy cuts on the wood and the other saying. And then it's staggered, so it's the main gazebo isn't it's typical of the gazebo, but there are two smaller platforms on both sides that serve as steps to get into the main gazebo. These are open, but they have the same kind of octagonal shape. Wow, he didn't finish his food. Hope you don't throw up. So last night he did come back in the middle of the night, I think, to eat the food that I left out for him. I didn't get to see him. He did it in the dark. So I assume it was him. I hope it wasn't some other cat, but I assume he got fed. So I found out Scruffy has a food limit, I guess, or he doesn't like his food very much. Okay, well, so I guess there's definitely no chair pets tonight, and I guess I'll just throw this food away. And maybe we'll go back to the regular cat food after this. So anyway, whoops. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time. Bye.